slime time. I think it's time we begun. I'm gonna put my chopstick while the intro goes. That's the intro because I'm putting my chopstick. Well, I mean, I'm talking, so I couldn't have. But anyway, welcome aboard, trainers. Or should we say something else? Because POTEMPO may not have trainers, at least in that naming capacity. Welcome in, Pass 2, Slime Dime indeed. Rykar, hello, hello. Mass has made it as well. Goo, howdy. Sketch Dingus, let's go. The gang's all here. Happy Thursday. I was going to say happy Friday, but that's not true. I'm not streaming tomorrow because I don't stream on Fridays. And then it's my birthday. I'm going out. I'm going to enjoy. But you get me for one more day before this week ends. Hello, Draco. Welcome in. The high notes? I don't know about that. I'm high on life because you guys are here supporting me. How's that? Again, it doesn't say Bab. It says Dad. I have my camera set on this side and just looking this way because I'm drawing, you know, so I like to have that. Thank you. So it's not Bab, despite it looking like it. In reality, it looks like flip horizontal, and it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything, you guys. Let me see. Stream overlay. Oh, it's locked. Here we go. Gang. That's the true look. Dad. Wow, it looks really weird on this side, right? Because I'd be looking this way if I'm drawing. But my screen is here. There you go, Dad. Your number one dad. All right, let's go ahead and transform back. This feels cursed, gang. This feels cursed. I've broken the confines. Transform. There you go. Oh, yeah, okay. Jeez, that's the pre-birthday hat, maybe. Hello, hello, Rec, welcome in. Okay, now we're back in business, gang. Shenanigans are over. It's time to get started. So, hope you guys have been well. I've got my tea ready. I've got my music ready. I've got some music playing for you guys. Today's quest. Speaking of quest, I was thinking about questing beasts to add, but I don't know. We shall see. I broke through the matrix. So, gang, today we're going to work on an archetype simply known as the slime. This is an archetype that we have seen in many, many mediums, be it anime, video games, TV shows. This kind of character has appeared in a lot of Monster Tamers. It's kind of a classic, almost a staple. Akira Toriyama, the GOAT, rest in peace, came up with an iconic slime. Yeah, like the mythological. But today, we'll be focusing on the slime. So I thought to myself, and you guys knew, because, you know, I've talked about the kind of POTEMPO that I wanted to add to my concept, and the slime is just a perfect jumping off point. I did the Aklut because I love orcas and wolves, and that was like a fun one to get like a full line. I don't know if I'm going to do a... isn't the slime boost evo supposed to be the beholder? It's not the beholder. I was thinking I could do... It could be. I'm not against it. However, I feel like it could be fun to do like a Cyclops into a Medusa-like beholder, if that makes sense. And you know, it doesn't need to make sense, but there's some connections there, right? It could be like the Cyclops has a singular eye, and so does a beholder, right? Beholder is very much a D&D thing, but then even Final Fantasy has a beholder of the same name with the same look feel. But yeah, the idea is like you can be gazed and paralyzed. Medusa paralyzes with her snake, so it could be a cool thing where it's like a Cyclopsian snake that becomes, you know, a Medusa-like entity, or becomes a Cyclops and then becomes a Gorgon or Medusa. But I don't know. Also, the slime could also be a beholder, right? I could just make it a jelly kind of creature with one massive eye, and it's got jelly tentacles. Hello, Aurora's, welcome in, and No Monkey Business has made it as well. But that said, I have a simple idea, and so I'm just going to kind of, I don't want to say wing it. I'm going to obviously go in and try and figure out the best course of action. So I'll do something like this just to illustrate what I kind of want to do. I want to come up with my own classic slime kind of design, right? My own stamp on it. So this POTEMPO will start, as all POTEMPO do, as in their small little spirit form. I still got to figure out that look feel. And the good thing is, as I continue to design POTEMPO, I will be able to like put all the spirit form babies together, and I could find like, do I want them to lean more into fire? Do they look more tangible and represent the first stage of their family lines, you know? What color though? Green, black, orange? I don't even know what it's gonna look like. I do think green is a classic. I might go with orange just to, you know, when I think of slimes, obviously I think of Jello, and I like orange Jello quite a bit. Strawberry too, or cherry. But like blue is a classic. Even the Choo Choo, right? Or the Chow Chow. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I say Choo Choo. That seems like a classic to base my concept. And I can show you a picture. You guys have probably seen these guys right here, right? These jellies all come in elemental forms, and that's like another staple with a lot of these slimes. They come in varying forms. So here's kind of a look of the, I think the Wind Waker version, right? So the Wind Waker version, you can see the varying types, the electric ones and whatnot, fire, Choo Choo, burn. I think this is even the case for Genshin. For Genshin Impact, they have slimes as well. So yeah, I wanted to kind of go through iconic slimes and see what kind of jumping point I can do. I have, again, an idea and a direction of how I want to do this. I don't necessarily know if I want to make a slime that's like a boosted Evo, but I kind of wanted to end on a, you know, homage to not the beholder, but more so, as you see in the thumbnail, the gelatinous cube. Here's our very own slime from Pokemon, right? You could also argue that Muck is a slime, but like Ditto is kind of seen as one because the simplicity behind it. So yeah, there's plenty of different ways to go about it. Elden Ring has their own slimes, the Silver Tears. I was doing research earlier. Obviously, Dragon Quest with an iconic one. Stardew Valley has one. Minecraft have slimes, which are cube shaped, which is pretty cute. So yeah, there's plenty of famous slime kind of concepts that I can build upon, right? Dingus writes, Dingus, Joey, currently typing up my defense for caustic on Discord. Hey, honestly, go for it. It could be fun to do a caustic version of many creatures, like they're the evil ones. They're not evil, they're just kind of discarded by the universe. If I wanted to buff up the compendium, Maybe I could do caustic and do like decay slash poison variants. Um, but we shall see. No promises. Let's see, guys. Put your faith in Dingus, man. He's currently typing up an essay for me to read. Is this your first Potempo, Auroras? It's not. This would be maybe like the third formal one. I'm going to be taking a lot of my Fakemon, and even put like Fakemon as in like Paradox ones that I've pushed to a really far direction. Also, I will say, if we have time left over, I will be working on my God Potempo. I have a better idea of what to do with it now that I've waited a day. And again, Zach and company, letting your ideas sit does wonders for your creativity. So I think I already know how I want to clean up that design. Ochre jellies are a thing, says Mast. Hello, Nintendo Zombie. Hey, Professor. Gotta love when you guys say, call me Professor and all that. You're making a slime Potempo. It's true. And hello, Toast Duck. What about purple? Grape flavored slime would be delicious, Toast. And hello, Toon Vader. Welcome in. Haven't been here for a while. How many Pokemon Fakemon you made here? These aren't Pokemon or Fakemon. As a total, I've made a lot of Pokemon and Fakemon, but I'm now doing Potempo. Wait, I got another idea. What about colored variants like Vivian? It's true. I could do colored variants. It would be kind of a corny, cheesy way to buff up the decks, but I'm not against it. You know, we'll see. Maybe the boost could be based off of the Umibozu. I've said this because there being an Umibozu from Neo that is a massive, almost slime-shaped boss made of ocean water. Let me look up Umibozu. Is that a yokai, like a slimy? If you guys know these kind of things, I'd be down to... Oh, wow, this thing looks insane. Very cool. Umibozu is a giant humanoid black figure of a yokai from Japanese folklore. Other names include Umihoshi, the sea priest, or Umi no Yudo, sea priest. Little is known of the origin of Umibozu. Umi is sea, right? But it is a mythical sea spirit creature and as such has multiple sightings throughout Japan. Appeared to sailors on calm seas which quickly turn tumultuous. It either breaks the ship on emergence or demands a bucket or barrel from the sailors and proceeds to drown them. The only safe way to escape an Umibozu is to give it a bottomless barrel and sail away while it's confused. Honestly, that's really freaking cool. I wonder, that could be a very cool boost Evo. Because as you guys know, I don't mind if my boost Evos, or maybe I'll just call them boost forms. Again, if I get a better name than boost, maybe it might be like potent form to fit with Potempo. It could be called totem forms for Potempo. Oh, that did the same design twice. It looks pretty cool. That's one way that I've seen it, but the usual way I'm seeing it being depicted is pretty interesting. It's like this kind of just a giant shadow in the sea. It looks pretty dang cool, but like I don't know if it would. I mean, you know what? A Stark. At the same time, a Stark. Hello, Cat. Our Mud Cat's here. Welcome in and congrats to you, Cat. Slime Rancher, absolutely. It feels like either slimes are like Eevee or like how the Sylvali line is things that can change their types. Very true. Why not some slime have different skeleton props of which color the slime is? The 666 butterfly from Kalos. Umibozu sounds like the Teru Teru Bozu, the thing that cast form is based on. Nice. Oh, 1 second, gang. 1 sec. Sorry about that. When family calls, I gotta pick up. Um, but I think the Umabozu inspired the theory of the Pikmin ship crash. I think I did see something about Pikmin when I was looking at it real quick. The Sea Monks. Hello, Dr. Crowbar. I don't know what name you're thinking of giving the slime, but I think you could do Starry one for the Mythic domain. Well, I don't even know if I'm doing even types for it, but I think it's going... I'm not going to go... I don't think the slimes are going into Mythic at all. I want to make these guys... They kind of perfectly, for me, fit Cryptic. The Cryptic domain, which is... And not that it's like a bottom rung kind of thing. It's just how my types... Or not types, but domains have formed. In a way... There is kind of like maybe these guys are a little more powerful. I could see myself maybe even bringing Cryptic up over here. But they're not necessarily stoic. You know what? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't look at it as tiers per se. But anyway, thanks for picking up. What a G, my own brother in chat who donoed 1999 there. What a hero of time. But yeah, let's get started, gang. Like I said, these guys kind of fit well into the runic just because it's the element. It's true, but here's the thing. You guys are looking at it from, again, a point of view of elemental because of their previous incarnations, right? Something that I want you guys to get into the mindset, and you know, not that you guys can read my minds or anything. Minds? I don't have more than one, but I'm not like ever... In some cases, sure, maybe I am outwardly maybe channeling a specific typing, but I'm not taking a water jelly and making it water, right? Or a fire jelly. I'm treating it as its own. It is simply a jelly-like substance. And it's true, they could be elemental, but I want to kind of like make it from the ground up. If it needs elements, then I can tack that on. But for now, it'll be kind of like a jelly-like entity. And to me, cryptid is like the perfect description of this thing. It could certainly be, in Dingus's case, as he takes a break from writing for the caustic defense, it could certainly be cryptic runic, right? My little rant is right on the Discord. Oh, goodness gracious. Or like tempo forms, since tempo is like the speed of... That's true. Prestissimo. Very nice. Exactly. Slimes are basic yet offer so much potential. Abso-freaking-lutely. And I want to lean into the simplicity and then have it evolve in complexity over time. So there's obviously plenty of ways to really lean into slimes, right? Obviously it starts with a Midwestern that's just a Jello mold. Could you imagine? D&D Jello mold. I'm going to zoom in here. And... okay. So I'm going to do probably... Obviously, we have slimes that could be a tier shaped like this, which isn't a good idea. I wonder if it might be better. Would it be funny that the POTEMPO named Gelatin due to I told you they need skeleton parts? Gelatin. Oh, I see. Gelatin. Oh, that's fun. Gelatin. Skeleton. Not bad. Makes sense by Dragon Quest like 10 different... Yeah, Metal or King, exactly. Now, it's really, believe it or not, a tough kind of ask when it comes to making your own slime, because their shapes are so simple. But I think I know what I kind of want to do for a potential. What is the theme of the game? Yeah, I would say a good chunk of it... It has a D&D vibe only because it's very fantasy oriented. But just like D&D picks a lot of folklore from many real world cultures, right? Like Garuda from Indian culture and specific Hinduism. They do plenty of stuff from Norse mythology. Many references from the world all over. I want to really lean into folklore from the world. So even that our first beast, the Aklut, was inspired from Inuit culture. A good onigiri slime shape right there. To make it simple, first just make a slime bob with a... I'm not looking for suggestions to that level, but feel free to share your ideas. I do like something like that. I was thinking like doing a version where maybe there is like something like a skull, and then it kind of evolves to have different body parts, because at the end, the connecting tissue, no pun intended, because gelatinous don't have any kind of nerves, I'm sure, but whether or not it's a human skull, when we see a lot of depictions of the gelatinous cube, the idea is that people get stuck in the cube, and then all that's left after they get digested or whatever is bones. So that could be a way to go, right? Gelatin would be a multi-pun like jelly, skeleton, ton of jelly, and gelatin. Very true. I wonder if it's been taken already. I will say I'm also not necessarily looking for names because I don't know how I'm going to name these things. It could be maybe even a massive nose with like little eyes in the middle. And it looks almost like a pig. Skull and ending in full skeleton. Maybe. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it. There's multiple ways to go about it, right? It could be something like, and it doesn't have to be a true skeleton, or it doesn't have to be a true jelly. In this instance, we can see the skull is kind of inside, right? And we'd have to render it out in a way where, so it could be that in this case there is a creature in the jellies, and when it comes to gelatin, we don't ever really see what powers them. They're just kind of these sentient slimes, right? Here, like, you got the personalities very upfront, which is cool. But it could be that like these slimes simply have their own bodies inside, and this skull or whatever is inside of it protects their body, and then there's a skull for them to hide in, or so the skull hides them, and then there's, for their protection, yet another layer of protection, which is a slime body. So I wonder, maybe it could be a shape like this. And it could be something like, yeah, maybe this arrow kind of shape. Maybe I've got just like something like this for a little bit of a shape. It's pretty unique, right? The creature hiding within the nose. And then throughout its evolution, oh, you know what? I could even give it feet. And then it kind of looks like a Goomba, which is crazy. Slimes do have cores. Maybe the core would be inside the skull, almost looking like an eye. It's true. Hello, Seals. Welcome in. For naming conventions, I had thought, what if it went by syllables? Like the first stage is one syllable, the second is two. Oh, that is very fun. Like POTEMPO, each name could have 3 parts. Like, for example, it could be, I mean, I feel like that would be really hard to pull off. And then the evolution could be like skull, scully, and then scully-tin or something, right? It's not impossible. And it adds to the temple-like element of the name. Hello, Seals. Did I say hello? When you put those eyes on the nose, it looks like a little jellyfish, which is super cute. Yes, don't forget to leave a like. Thank you, Dingus. I appreciate that. They could just be giant amoeba, very true. Back had to get dinner. What we eating today, Draco? The skull slime looks awesome. Cool, cool, cool. Hello, Trash. Welcome in. The forbidden jelly cupcake. Ooh, yeah, that's true. I really like that. Jello, gelatin. That's fun. I mean, that could work. Now, my only fear is, again, making that work. I'm gonna keep it over here on the side for sure. Okay, let me see something like this. I'm gonna, now that we've seen all of our references, oh no. Kind of makes me think of abracadabra. Yeah, that's very fun. That is very fun. Oh, I wonder, maybe it could just be names like that. It doesn't necessarily need to add. So let me write name, and then I'll write abracadabra alakazam. Fried pork chops. Okay, macaroni casserole. All right, let's go. Just came up with a crazy idea. Make a slime based on little bites, because you saw the muffin, right? Maybe 2 syllables for the first stage would be. I don't know. It could be really cool. It could definitely be really cool. But the name stuff, I'm sure it'll come to me. I'll be honest. I probably think, making me think of Smurfs. Name it E and E. Ed, and Eddie, right? I'm gonna do another slime, maybe one based on... I wonder if maybe I could do a slime like this, because I like the jellyfish idea. What if I made it like... It's a... It floats around, and its teeth kind of make it look like a jellyfish of sorts. And maybe inside... Maybe this could be like the second form. Maybe... Oh, this could look insane. So maybe like the teeth extend out, like almost like the Punisher logo. Something like that. And then... And it floats like a jellyfish. Maybe it starts on the ground, floats like a jellyfish, and then maybe it becomes just too heavy that it gets back into the ground as gelatinous cube. I was thinking about making the gelatinous cube a D20 shape. Could be a cool one. I don't know, Toon. We're gonna keep trying out. But jelly piss? No. Hello, random. Welcome in. So, all right, let's do... And it could be really cute to have just his eyes on like one side of this more massive one. Another thing we could do... let's see. So maybe for this... Scoliosis. I think it's a little too close to the Pokemon. But like I said, I'm not worried about names or anything right now. Oh my god. Hold on, gang. Let's see. The jelly reminds me of a UFO. It'd be fun to add some alien elements to it. Let me do a version of... I like the idea of... The gelatinous cube is very D&D oriented. So let me see if I can do, again, like a D20 kind of shape. Because I kind of like the idea of it being slimy. And then maybe, yeah, maybe if this is its boost form, it could be... most of the... It is a little hard to draw a D20. So let me see, something like this. Meaning like, as far as fan art and stuff, or even model. If people like this guy, it'd be a pain in the ass to draw. Again, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to do a D20 shape entirely, but for a slime to like become this very... You know, you ever seen those Jello that are like cut into cubes and they look really delicious? Like little ice cube jellies, but they're not ice, obviously. It could be cool that the jelly is like carved itself into this perfect thing, and maybe it rolls around everywhere. And if you get caught by it, that's a critical fail. Nat 1, you get eaten up. How do I do something with this design? Because again, as far as jelly, you wanted to be like a beholder. Not necessarily. Someone was asking if the boost form would be a beholder, and it's possible I go that route where it gets multiple eyes and it uses a tentacle. Maybe a lava lamp like thing, maybe. Slime based on a sundae. Let's see, so if we had this thing and we had like, it could be... Ooh, what if it was something like this perfectly cut slime and maybe inside it's got like a really nice symmetrical kind of skull now, maybe. Ooh. Get all these teeth or something? It's looking too busy. I don't think I can make the D20 thing work. I think it would be a little too busy. D&D may be a D20 based system, but you could always use a dice. That's true, but I mean, in a way, gelatinous cube is a dice, right? So you told us in the Pokemon X D&D that you like D&D. What was the weirdest D&D story scene playing it? Getting strong Tangela vibes from the first two. Love it. Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah, I guess you... Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Teeth angles. What if the skull came out and became the slime's shell? Possible. I'm going to... I feel like what I should do... and I don't really do this with Fakemon. I usually design... I have an idea of what I want it to be, and then design it usually pretty straightforward, but since there's a lot of conceptualization going on here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to design a whole page full of slimes, right? And kind of see where I want the final design to be, and then work backwards from there. Because the first slime doesn't have to be super intense as far as design, right? Interestingly enough, what if the slimes were like a bunch of these cubes or something? Like, again, cubes like this would be a bitch to model, I feel like. Slime time indeed. Not a silly goose, a silly goo. Well said. I'm really obsessed with the Jello cubes. Okay, so we have the cubes. The skull element is kind of important, right? If that's the... Okay, again, as I was saying, I should probably figure out Knackley vibes. Yeah, potentially, because it's definitely inspired by like salt cubes, right? I want to see if I can do, maybe it's a jelly where it's maybe like, what's his name? Is it the Thing from the Addams Family? And it's like maybe like a jelly hand. Oh, this is gonna be wacky. It's a jelly hand that's maybe crawling on the ground. Maybe its core kind of sticks out of its body. No. I'm really trying to change up the game. It could be like, yeah, this jelly hand that like kind of slimy just thing, not the thing. Are these slimes an early game? Yeah, probably Toon. I think so. While I understand the direction towards the jellyfish slime might look awkward, like if it isn't floating, it's going to look like sad. I mean, I think that's pretty cute then. Oh, wait a second. It could be a hand, and then it starts floating like it gets freedom like a jellyfish. Again, I really love the idea of really making each line of... I really like a jellyfish idea, honestly. So it's a hand, and its fingers become the jellyfish tentacles, maybe. Spaghetti hand. Never seen a hand slime. Yeah, I'm trying to think of ways I can be different. I got a hit. He's moving. Okay, so there could be something really interesting here. It could be... we could put the... would Wizards of the Coast come for my throat if I made a cube for gelatinous slime? I mean, yeah. Like, would they be like, you can't do a slime that's six-sided? Yay or no? What do you guys think? Maybe it could still look like a hand. You know? Like, this is its... I mean, this is so mental, but really interesting, right? Like, and it's flying in the sky or something. Why does every jellyfish second evolution look like a UFO? Is this idea already made? I don't know. Is that true? Chat, what do we think? Are there a lot of UFO inspired? I mean, there's a reason why Tentacruel also has like a UFO reference in its shape, right? What if there are multiple sets of eyes, like they're living in a colony? Possible. If it isn't possible, there's gonna be a way to be possible. Yeah, but you know what? With Minecraft, it's not like they have a whole skeleton kind of thingy inside of it, you know? I don't love that. Let me do a thing where it could be that, you know what? The final slime could be just infused with the... maybe that's what it is. The final slime... and whether or not I use the hand thing, I kind of like the actual teeth kind of like dropping into the ground, and maybe it's like this massive jelly skull. Maybe it's a little too, because I also do want to do a mimic, so this may not work, because I do want to do like a mimic treasure kind of thing. Technically my mimic would probably be a lantern, because that's the catching device. So I don't think I could have a true, I mean, I could do a treasure chest mimic. It's not against the grain, you know. It's the final slime down. This also gives me Dust Sprite vibes from Spirited Away. It's like an ice cube turned to jelly. I mean, with the OGL debacle, I think Wizard of the Coast is going for the jugular wherever they can. I don't think they can get away with a slime cube. We shall see, gang. So again, let me see. I want to see if I can do maybe just a giant jelly skull. Could really be pretty cool. And it could be, you know what? Maybe these thingies are like physical. Oh, interesting. Hold on. Maybe I can make it so that it's like two hands. Like here are the thumbs. And just to keep it simple, I'll do like 4. This is such an insane design. You see what I'm trying to do with the hands coming up? But the treasure chest idea isn't what the original. So the idea of a lantern can work. Potential for animal skulls. It could be different animal skulls. It could be different animal skulls. The human one is just the most iconic, right? But it could be. I don't know how or what this is supposed to be. Now I'm picturing a skull with fingers where the teeth are, and it's making me very sick. That's what it's supposed to be. It's epic, right? It is really cool. I don't know if it works. Holy crap, this is like really cool. Kanga skull. I mean, this is pretty insane. It's not a gelatinous cube, but it's gelatinous cube inspired, which is all that I really need. And it could even be, again, that these are like teeth or claws, and they, you know, kind of drip and bubble and stuff. Ooh, you know what? And then maybe we can still have what, you know, whatever the Jello entity is, could still live here in the middle, and he's like really happy because it still needs to be cute, like a POTEMPO, not like a scary. It's not D&D. It's D&D adjacent, right? It's D&D inspired in some ways. Whale God sneezed and created this thing. Imagine this thing animated. Yeah, it would be so sick. Idea, what if the final skull was an elephant skull? You said something about Cyclops. Well, people mistake. That's true, but then I mentioned Cyclops because of the beholder kind of thing, but then that's too many ideas that are, you know. Why not make a living cage, not huge, but cave shape? That's kind of what I was thinking originally, like the Aladdin cave. It's funny you mentioned that with the tiger, and so that's how I was thinking the teeth. Yeah, because maybe we lose, or maybe it just got so massive, and then yeah, the skull is like down here. This could be like the boost form. Something like that. If it closes its mouth together, it looks like they're... Exactly, that's what the intention is. It's two hands, especially because if the first slime is, you know, maybe what I could do is like, maybe, yeah, it's 3 fingers, and then maybe the thumb has got like the skull shape to it. I don't know why it has a skull and it's lifting it up. So again, it could be, what if the lower jaw was a hand? It is. It's just probably not illustrated well. These are both hands. So it's like, this is the thumb right here. And then here are the fingers. So yeah, it's a little hard to tell, but that's the intention, that it's 2 hands closing on each other. Here, let me make the thumb like... Kind of looks like a mimic, which is cool. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this, but a Jello cup. Now, for this to work, maybe it's more of a slug with fingers as eye stalks. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, a slug would make sense. It's a pretty slimy monster, right? Or not monster, but creature. Otherwise, yeah, let me go through my references here. Fesk, are the starters are still grass, water, or fire? I'm not doing starters, not in the way you guys know it. And then there's no such thing as types in my game. We have something called domains, and there isn't any type advantages, so there isn't like a thing where you choose, you know, one type because it's this or that. I'll go over domains more down the line, but I've already kind of covered it. But basically, there won't be any type advantage kind of things. What if the first stage Jello hand using a skull like a hermit crab to 2-hand jellyfish to hand clam keeping the sea creature theme? That's true. That is true, to find like kind of a through line that connects them all. Now, granted, that is a more Pokemon styled way of thinking, so I don't blame you. I don't mind if they don't feel necessarily super connected, because I think the idea is like these creatures have the potential to like supersede anything that is written in their code, right? However, it is something very it is something that's very fun to see if there's like some sort of through line. I do that with my Orca line, right? Can these... Yes, they can expand. No, they cannot expand. Okay, let me keep messing around. It might have to be... We have a jellyfish like this. I don't mind... Okay, you know what? I'm not going to delete... This part, I wonder if the hand thingy is like too much, like it feels too gimmicky, like Pokemon, but I mean, it's still pretty damn unique, which is cool, right? Maybe, yeah, maybe the skull part could look like this. That's pretty insane looking, you know? And then maybe there could be a gelatinous, like, bone protrusion rather than... Not sure if you saw my idea or not. What's the idea? What if the core was the uvula of the skull? Smart, smart. Maybe expansion is our name. No, no, no. Expansion would be. I think I've already got people, gonna say it's Pokemon ripoff, Digimon ripoff. I don't want people to be like domain and expansion. You ripped off. I mean, I guess I shouldn't care, but here's the thing. I'm choosing to adjust things like names for things that don't translate well, right? So, for example, killifish. For example, if I were like, my types are mythic, exotic, gothic, runic, stoic, cryptic, and lithic. If I say that to someone, what are they going to say to me? They're going to say, oh, cool, Bonnie, awesome. What is lithic strong against? What is cryptic strong against? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, and it's not their fault, is because the name types is something we know from other monster tamers, and specifically Pokemon. So if I don't say types, they understand, oh, domains, still a classification, but it may not work the same as types because he didn't keep the word types. So I want to keep evolution because the concept is largely the same. If I were to just change it for the sake of it, to say like, instead of evolving, it's expanding, it's a little pretentious. It's trying to be something different when it's not needed, right? So anything that already works really well will probably keep a name, right? That's why, look, mythic is the highest class of my legendaries, right? Rather than me calling them legendaries, because that might be copying Pokemon a little too much, there's some legendaries that are called mythical. So I can outright just label a whole domain as mythic, and just say, yeah, they're like the fabled entities, you know? Personally, I feel it's better to kind of feel like Pokemon and be fun than to force yourself away from it. I get it. Well, that's your personal opinion, so that's more than fine. Personally, I do think it is important to be fun, but I'm absolutely not forcing myself from it. I will, as an artist, force myself to create the best possible designs. That's always my number one goal. So I've seen way too many concepts, you guys, and I'm not going to name names of artists or content creators or whatever that do their own Pokemon inspired thing, right? And I look at their concepts. The art styles look like Sugimori. The trainers that they call in their games look like Pokemon styled characters. The naming convention, the catching styles. I'm not trying to be different just for the sake of being different, but in my heart of hearts, I want to create something that's different, right? I could be making Fakemon for the rest of my life, and maybe some people would watch it and they would definitely enjoy it. But then when I die, they're like, oh, that's Bonnie, the Fakemon artist. I want people to be like, oh, that's Bonnie. He created POTEMPO. And POTEMPO, even with its name, is different, has its own core values and design essences. Like everything about this, I'm carefully curating. So in that way, that's why it's important to me where I can to distinguish myself. And then obviously if Pokemon does certain things that are better, I'll keep those. But so for example, with my domain thing, there's 18 types. Not a bad thing, pretty cool. But when I saw that there was that many types, and if I want people to be on board, I've got to make things easy to understand. And I was able to whittle down all of those types into like these 6 main domains. That's pretty awesome. I get to consolidate and, more importantly, streamline a lot of things that I don't love about Pokemon as much as I do love Pokemon, up and down. What I can do to be different, yet in a way that there's still impact, I can carve my own niche. Awesome, right? Sorry for the rant. Not really a rant, but just, I wanted to kind of let you guys know. And if you've been around the channel, you guys already know. But it's good to iterate. The fingers on the jellyfish kind of make them look like a monkey with the middle finger being a tail. Very cool. And since I really like POTEMPO, I second Joe's argument of caustic. An idea. What if the fold of the jellyfish was raised higher to mimic a hat for the skull? Don't forget though, not necessarily against each other, but each domain could have their own strength and weaknesses. Lithic POTEMPO could usually be strong and durable, but yeah, I think something like that is what I would do. They have their characteristics for sure. Personally, my favorite current Pokemon-like is Subjectively's, and even then, right? Subjectively is moving so far away from Pokemon, right? It feels very adult. It's very mystery-oriented. There's a thriller kind of element to it. The designs feel very grown up. The gameplay will probably feel very different from Pokemon. So it's pretty cool, right? Agree with that. Thanks. I see some monster collectors that like different RPG like Pokemon that feel new. Yeah, Cassette Beast gets to be something different and fresh, right? I want to be fresh and yet still clearly show my inspirations, right? Maybe design-wise, I've picked up a lot from Pokemon. But even how I describe the way I go about with evolution, it's still more inspired by Digimon. And that even within the name, POTEMPO and then Tempo, Totem, I look at my evolutions and I'll just quickly go back to it just to like help you guys understand further. If every form starts with like a spirit kind of form, simple and cute, and then evolve into like a puppy or a teenager kind of thing, and then evolve into a very straightforward kind of element, where they really explode is in their boost forms, right? So there is something very Digimon yet Pokemon inspired about this kind of design. Where why is it that, you know, what these creatures look like wolves become a wolf orca? Because the idea of boost is that they up their tempo by attuning to you, and you know, your friendship gives them the potential to break through what we expect. So whereas Digimon sometimes feel very random in its design and Pokemon feels intentional, I'm walking that kind of line in the middle. Right? It's actually pretty good Pokemon-like in Roblox. Doodle World, gotcha. Just to be curious, is your world theme is still blank or is the idea still new? It's still very much in development, you know. I would say there's still plenty that I've sorted out, right? Like, I do want the world to feel very fantastical. It'll even have many like semi-sci-fi kind of feel to it here and there. I'm going to keep moving around. I think I know what I want to do for my slime creatures. I think this is pretty much the play. I think let's do one hand like this, and I realize what I'm going to do for the jellyfish. I realized what's funky. Shark dogs and orchids, yeah, the auklet, and that's, so I think Lorik in my question of the day, which we can go over the question of the day actually real quick. So I asked today, oh, interesting. One second, gang. Okay, ready? Now that POTEMPO has officially been named revealed, I'll be going all in on designs for these creatures for my Monster Tamer / Collector concept over the next few months. Question of the day, which of these batch of creatures would you most be excited to see? Minotaur, Beholder, Chimera, and Harpy. Chimera won with a whopping 54%. Minotaur only got 7. Don't get me wrong, I plan to do all of those. In the comments, it reads, well, actually, it's only one comment from Jorpta. Very curious how you do a Chimera with all the unique features it has, and still, how do you make it be cohesive? So, I have an answer for that. Potempeek. The idea for the Chimera, for example, when I get to it, it'll be definitely sometime next week. I don't know if I'm going to do Chimera first or Owlbear. But the Chimera is made of 3 parts, right? Lion, goat, and snake. This writes itself, gang. Snake will be the first form. The second form will be the goat, and then third will be the lion. with the boost is going to be a fusion of all of them as the Chimera. Okay? So, that said, it's very easy for me to essentially take multiple parts of a fable and fold them in a Digimon yet Pokemon-like way. That's going to be very fun. People are going to be like, yo, how the hell did this snake evolve into this goat? And how did it evolve into a lion? And then when you realize it, Chimera, like in a totem pole, right? First form, second form, third form, and then the boost at the top of the totem pole is the sum of all of its part. That is the best way to describe POTEMPO. These are actually very good Pokemon like on Roblox. His creature loop, their Evo cycle 7th stage, 4th stage, 1st stage, one creature. Okay, I no longer care that Wolffork is my absolute favorite one, being like the Auklet. That guy looks badass. Manicores are slept on. I do want to do Manicores as well. And I get a place to do that, right? Rather than, say, making a Pokemon version that's baby Manicore into a teenage Manicore into a big Manicore, I get to make each, in my design philosophy, each stage is the sum of all of its parts, right? Would the design have hints? It's possible. I may do that, but I also don't mind of it being so different from one another, right? I think the idea of POTEMPO is that they have... Pokemon also have clearly, like, in the way that conversation have happened, there's so much potential in them, right? However, I would say that with Pokemon, they're still limited in some capacity, and not in a bad way. It basically like Megas, and I think I'm understanding. Yeah, the idea is it's a, you know, that's their Pokemon rules, so that's more than fine. I want to create designs where the boost forms, like Megas, instead of just making a creature extra mean looking or extra spiky, the idea is like it takes the sum of all of its parts and punches it up to infinity. You know what I mean? So maybe in my second passes, maybe there will be more linking elements between the creatures. Because with Digimons, like I said, sometimes it could be really random. With POTEMPO, it'll be maybe a little more focused. It could be like the creatures don't have too much in common, but maybe their color palette's the same, right? Wait, so these boost stuff is the trainer tamer is using a bond to go beyond their form. Yeah, resonance form. I'm trying to find names like even a tuning, right? With tuning is the process of like bonding. So something with resonance, you could still have that musical connection, but ideally it's going to be a simple word. It could be like reso forms, like resuscitate or rev forms, revive forms, unlock, potential, that kind of nomenclature. Maybe something to do with music is what I kind of want to do. So Bon asked Dingus, how does one achieve a boost form? Is it like Mega where you can choose any time, or do you build up to it? So a tuning fork, it'd be funny if it were an actual fork. And maybe they clang it against their lantern and make a beautiful chime or something. I mean, as of now, the way I see it is... Also, let me do this. It could be that the slime... Maybe the slime is something like this. And then there's like a silly little skull here. And then what I realize what I can do is I can have the tentacles be the hands like this. It's kind of creepy. It makes it look like a Zelda enemy or something. Or even like wings, right? Wow, that looks pretty visually striking. No, look up some jellyfish. Pondering my slime orb. I dig the musical theme. Yeah, you can achieve resonance form by building up rhythm. You know, I do too. But words, you know, words have power, right? For example, there's a reason why all of my domains, I made sure, as it was like, you know, going over it the other night, I was like, well, I have a few of these ending in ick. And exotic, stoic, runic, lithic, it teaches the audience that they are exist in the same class, right? And yeah, having themes really adds intentionality. So you know what? I think this is silly. I think it should be a thing style slime. Oh, imagine it was like something like this. And he's running around like a gingerbread man, but he's got his thumb. Oh, that's kind of funny, gang. And he's just sloshing around. And I'll give him like a really big head, like he can barely keep it up. Oh my god, look. Obviously, like, I'll figure out the exact... He's running like a titan or something. Oh my god, this is so funny. And then maybe he'll have like the skull here. He's more silly guy. No. He won't have a bone thingy. And then the core is like back here. And then when it evolves, I'm gonna look up some jellyfish. Hand puppy, la critura. Now it's looking like an anemone. Pondering my slime orb. I like that comment. I read twice. Flying slimes. The second form feels like it would be turning into something cool. Just add something goofy. Hamburger helper. That's true. Make the first stage look like Glover. Pretty much. As running him we see on carp. My favorite shit, man. Chasing, jumping on fences. Can't stop thinking about Chimera now, Bon. What have you done? I've entered your brainwaves, Arthur. Not sure if you saw my question. Just repeat it twice if I miss it, because it'll be easier for me. His face is the skull and he pulls a rowlet. What does that mean, pulling the rowlet? I love rowlet. I have one right here. His face is the skull and he pulls a rowlet. Flying slimes. Oh, how would the manicore, something like humanoid, lion, scorpion. Remind me what the manicore is made of exactly, and then I can give a better answer. I do want to do a manicore, but again, I never want to promise anything outright in case, you know, I'm not trying to get anyone's hopes up, and, you know, realistically, I want to leave, you know, some stuff for like a future game potentially, right? Or future concept. Oh, rotates is, yeah, that'd be so cute. That would be so cute. It could be, you know what? Maybe it's, oh, maybe he's got like a skull here. Like, I don't even know if I need the skull, if I'm being perfectly honest. Actually, you know what? No skull. Let me do it like this. He's got the head here, and then maybe he's got like a tiny face like right here. You know what I mean? He's mad goofy. He's like that eye emoji. And this would be my take on the slime. Oh, he's like Flubber. Was Flubber a hand, or he was just... Flubber movie. Let me see. Oh, Flubber, he looks like a little hand man. Oh, yeah. Robin Williams, I miss you, man. Face of a human, body of a lion, and tail of a scorpion. Well, you know what? Technically, I have... It could be... I could even make the Manticore and the Chimera be like split Evos, you know? The eyes, yeah, I know, right? Manticore is also shown with bat wings, so bat is possible too. It doesn't have to be the exact creature, right? Like, I'm just like being inspired by these kind of things, right? So it's possible that I do a design or concept like, man, I feel like jelly, it has to be green. But the only thing is, so blue looks like water, so blue might not be it. Flubber is mad green, so maybe my slimes are orange. Maybe that's what it is. You know? Maybe my homage to Nickelodeon. Fuck that Dan Schneider, you stupid ass bitch. Something like that, potentially. The skull design makes it similar to gelatin from Cassette Beast, but yours is more chibi. Please tell me about those kind of things earlier on. I don't want to be designing stuff that people are going to be like, oh, it's just... Again, I know I'm going to comparisons and stuff. That's fine. But if something like jelly with skull, which, again, it wasn't like, you know, Cassette Beats own it, or, you know, I was thinking of a gelatinous cube. I gotta really sit down and look at reference of how to make it look like a hand, you know? But yeah, again, where possible, I want to like find avenues again to make things feel my own and whatnot. This is such a weirdly strange creature that's so cute. Do you guys agree? There's a lot of open space here, so I'm trying to figure out what I could do here. If anything, maybe I'll kind of put like a pink over there just to make it feel like a brain or a polyp of some sort, you know? I don't know if that's the right word. I like it with the skull personally, but see, the way I look at it is, why is the skull there? Like, I don't have to explain it like Pokemon. I don't have to explain it like Digimon. I want to design still with intentionality, you know? Maybe it could be like... Oh, perfect. It could look like a glove, and that's like the base of its neck. So that way it still looks like a... It still looks like a hand. You know? Yeah. Why not multicolor like Vivillon that I told you? Maybe, but I'm still discovering. Purple wouldn't be... I don't think purple would be bad either. Manticore is a Greek creature with a lion's body, human face, with a lot of quill on tail, or other versions with a scorpion tail. I mean, what if it was iridescent like a bubble? That might be a play too. Although I don't want it to look like a bubble or oil. But let's see. Due to it being multicolored, it'd be fun to pick which slime POTEMPO you choose with your favorite color. I like him, me too. Don't worry about gelatin, it's much more different. I like it, feels really unique. Good, good, good. He has a cute, silly goober energy to it. I disagree. Disagree with what? You gotta be specific. Manicore looks closer to Sphinxes than Chimera. Ooh, so I could do, I mean, either way, I can make it whatever I want. So I could do a line that evolves one into Sphinx, one into Manticore. I could make it a three line. Because I was also thinking, for example, Owlbear, no, more so Griffin, Pegasus, and maybe Griffin, Pegasus, and I think Hippogriff. They all have like wings kind of stuff going on. So I was like, maybe I can make that a three split Evo by 3 ways. Magneto, the master of magnetism. I feel like adding just a sphere like a cartoon heart in the bulbous part can fill the space out. Yeah, a heart could be fun too. I'm not sure. I just walked in. Damn you, Zach. I'm thinking this man is ready to scrap. All right. Well, I'll let you figure out what you disagree with. And then chat, you sort that out as I do this. All right, so here's our hand. He's looking pretty damn cool. It could also be multiple parts just to separate things further, right? So maybe, for example, like this could be blue. You know, and just that separation makes it feel less, you know. Oh, you know what? It could be a giant brain. And maybe like it's connected like here, like a ponytail. That way there's still some semblance of, which is, oh, you know what? And then maybe I can have the brain pattern look like eyes. And since it's not very smart, it doesn't have a lot of wrinkles. God damn, that's pretty damn good, yo. And then I'll like figure out the eye thing and, you know, for the smaller thing. And then I'll just color it like this. And then you add, I'll figure out color later. But I actually really, really like that. And that way that blue can be in the next section. So I'm gonna look up some now. Dizzy Astronaut, hell yeah. Do you guys, I don't think you guys can understand how excited I am that this is kind of landing, because I wouldn't be able to design this level of creative stuff if I were doing fake mod. You know what I mean? I could, but I'd be wasting my best concepts for something that would belong to Nintendo in some connection, just because Pokemon's associated with it. But with POTEMPO, I'm making a hand slime, which is crazy. You know what? If anything, I could maybe have the brainstem part be orange, and it's like continuing down. Now, I was worried about like, I still want a very simple slime, and I think I could still, you know, obviously they're gonna have their first stage in their spirit kind of forms, so it could just simply be slime that looks like this, where it's the actual brain by itself. Introduce the orange coloring there. The orange and blue, shout out to Nyx, really works. Oh, I think Skull, that cute jellyfish kind of Pokemon, does that too, actually. But it's fine. Daisy Astronaut, Oostonaut, Smooth Brain, one Potempo that split evolves into a Chimera, Manticore, or Sphinx, and a Potempo that splits into a Griffin, Owlbear, Hippogriff. I'm more so want to do lines for more, but if there's because you guys get more designs that way. But if there is, again, like fables and folklore that cross over very similarly, where it would be pointless to make a whole new line for it. Like, for example, I'm going to be doing a Potempo where one side, the chaos side, evolves into a siren, and then the order side becomes a mermaid. I think that's cool. So that way it's really cool, like two sides of the same coin, you know, in a very simple, like Kingdom Hearts kind of thing, right? Light and dark, but like they're not truly light and dark. One is just chaotic, right? One is more in line with order. Split into splat and splat. I feel like we're moving a little away from the initial slime concept, but it's a fun and cute design. And it's true. And, you know, maybe I come up with another slime, but at the same time, like, if this is my take on slimes, then so be it, you know? Astronaut, why is everything still space related? It's because they're seeing like a helmet to protect its brain. I get that feeling it feels more your own. Though I do worry the small one looks a bit like Silliest. Yeah, I've got to figure it out. Third, a Selkie. I think Selkie I'll do separate because Selkie will have the body of a horse. Or, what was it? I think, oh no, Kelpie. Kelpie is the one with the horse body, right? What is it? Chat, tell me exactly what a Selkie is and a Kelpie. I think Selkie has to do with seals, right? Maybe that could be the fair evolution, right? Repeat this. Ooh, that's made me think that a Minotaur can end up fusing ideas with Ushioni, since that's also... Yeah, on the days when I get around to these concepts, you know, remind me, chat, and I'll see if I can incorporate them and whatnot. No promises for everything. But yeah. Oh, you know what would be cool? If this is we're seeing this thing from the back. And then maybe, so I'm gonna look up and you know what, at the end of the day, even if it's not the slime that I was thinking in my head, it's still my own slime, and I think that's really exciting and cool, right? Because I could have done something more what's the word, like obvious, right? And there wouldn't be anything inherently wrong with that, but the fact that it got to be this I don't want to say creative, but like a hand jellyfish cave mouth monster boost, like that's insane in such a cool way, you know? I think maybe I could lean into like a more larger kind of brain, right? It would still need a protective casing for its brain. And here I could introduce a different color. I feel like I want to do like purple. Selkie is Seal Woman. Kingdom Hearts simple. Outside of that one song, simple and clean, baby. Selkie is a seal mermaid from northern mythos. All of the mishmash mysticals could all potentially go into the cryptic. Yeah, potentially. I think they could still jump around. A few I want to make mythic, naturally. Not mythic, sorry, exotic. Like, owlbear would go into cryptic, but I think something like chimera could be an exotic level. Kelpie is horse that drowns kids. I don't want to play patty cake with it or cat's crackle. Ross, paper, scissors. Selkie is a seal that removes its pelt to become a woman and walk on land. Kelpie are water-dwelling shapeshifters that commonly take the shape of a horse. It's a seal that becomes a horse. Kelpies on land look like horses. In the water, it could be some swamp monster. Kelpie is a horse that makes people want to ride them and run off into the water. Wow. Oh, make it a little UFO-like. That's kind of more Pokemon inspired, but you know, it's not bad to invoke those things, right? Because I really don't want to make my monsters, again, like, the POTEMPO are their own kind of entities, right? Like, ranging from very, you know, obvious kind of concepts to, you know, very fantasy-oriented kind of stuff. I don't ever want to make... I would pray that my POTEMPO never become... And I'm not saying this to disrespect Cinderace fans. I love Cinderace and Pokemon Unite. But I don't ever want to make like an anthro rabbit who kicks a soccer ball. It's a very fun concept. It's a very fun concept. But like, I don't want to go that route. You know, Inteleon is straight up the secret agent Pokemon, right? I'm not trying to go to those levels. You know? This part could kind of look like eyes, high key. Now over here, it could definitely get more. The eyes could definitely get more advanced and whatnot because there's more brain kind of waves and all that. This could be occult. It could be occult cryptic. Cryptic occult, maybe. And it still looks like eyes without not having eyes. Would it still need its little head, its secondary? Because it's got the little eyes. I might lose the eyes, honestly. I don't think it needs it. But I do like the idea of keeping whatever that secondary... And again, I still don't know what the look feel of my world is going to be. You know? It may still be, you know, very cartoony. It might evolve to be more realistic. You know, maybe I'll be like, this idea is a little too crazy. I'll save it for a fake mon, you know? But I'm going to see what I can do, right? Because design is always evolving. And again, this is only a first pass, right? So now I'll disrespect Cinderace, my all-time worst favorite Pokemon. Make Selkie become woman, not horse. So yeah, maybe Kelpie could be... Selkie could be the fair evolution. But I don't know if it warrants its own creature, because it sounds like a seal that turns into a woman. Like, I don't know. How would I evolve that? Well, I'll worry about it when I get to there. I like human-like Pokemon, but Game Freak sometimes takes it a bit too far. I can imagine just either stage flipping someone off. I like humanoid Pokemon, but Cinderace feels too simple. Hello, Gabby! I was just thinking about my hand. Once again, Gabby the GOAT. An hour and 30 minutes checking in on the hand. I should probably check it every hour. Let me go ahead and stretch with you guys. Everyone stretch. Looked away, got a nice hat. I can imagine the Squidward walking sound effect. This thing flies. The second stage flies for sure. It's like floating. Oh yeah, cult leader POTEMPO. Is the cult traits a bit vague without making him just be a POTEMPO? That's just like, yeah, I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to like, do something that like obviously loose things, like, you know, you could say like, oh, it treats its tribe like a cult. That's fine. But I don't want it to be outright like, this is a chef Pokemon or a chef Potempo that, you know, uses a stick in the forest like a knife. Like, again, I don't know the full length of all my stuff, right? Maybe I will give like accessories. Maybe at some point I'll give like belts and crazy things. Still figuring out the look feel, right? So, you said timers for hand checks. Very true. Between the legend, this Bonnie truly has a vendetta against eyes. No more eyes. I can see this thing trying to mind control someone by grabbing someone's head. Always on time, says Gabby. Since we're doing cryptids, what about the obvious ones? Bigfoot, Nessie, Flatwoods. I don't know the Flatwoods alien. Tell me about that. I want monsters to be within reason. I want them to be like Nessie, right? It would look really cool in the world to come up with my own thing, but like, for example, this creature, I can see them like kind of like a support. Nessie, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything. Like, I don't see Nessie as an attacker. Maybe it could be like a supporter, because it could be an elegant kind of creature potentially. But yeah, I reckon a bunch of cryptids could make it in, right? As long as I have enough to like really work with, right? Let's give them really long hands. You know what I'm getting vibes of? Or not hands, but fingers. Chaos from Sonic Adventure. With the blue, like the brain kind of thingy. The second passes for all these will really make or break many designs. You know? It's pretty cool. Man, part of me wonders if I should just make this slime purple. I mean, that looks like a bubble more than slime. You know what? Let's do it like that. This is so insane. I don't know if it'll be a Bonster, you know? Bonster, damn it, a Potempo. We're making Potempo and Potempo accessories, I'll tell you what, Bobber. The Canadian Nessie is called the Ogopogo. Interesting. It's like that hat yokai from Yokai Watch. I don't know that one. It's thinking juice, or the juice that thinks. When we want Bonnie Chicken's hands, we should all spam. Yeah, that'd be cute. That's a good idea. Nessie Potempo could be a mount, like Lapras. Yeah, I guess it could be, but you know, I want to keep my mount simple. I'll probably just make it like those motorcycles, like those floating hover bikes, just because, again, I need to make realistic expectations, right? I don't have a Game Freak team to make it, you know, a crazy cool thing with multiple bikes and stuff. For now, it's like, you know, conceptualization. So if at some point I were able to like, but that's another thing, right? I was saying before, I'd rather mounts be their own class, but then some people were like, oh, I want to have it be a mount and fight. So, you know, I don't see why I couldn't do both, but it would be cool, like, I don't know, certain, maybe not all mounts could fight, for example. I don't know. This is so crazy for a slime monster. And then I'll do the final one. The pink brain and blue watercolor makes me think of that. In Dinosaur King, they had a Futabasaurus. Nessie looking reptile has a move card called the Futaba Super Cannon. So maybe Nessie's a powerful sniper. No, but that's adapting something that was very specific into my thing is like kind of like plagiarism. With folklore, it's a different story. That belongs to the world, right? Those are stories told by humanity, right? Nessie being one thing in a very specific thing and then translated to be something like that seems disingenuous. Flatwood Monster is a 10-foot tall alien that was sighted after locals in West Virginia saw a red pulsating flash of light in the sky and crashed nearby on a farm. Is it Spade Light Crest? And I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. I've never heard of anything like that. Sounds insane. I've heard of the Jersey Devil, but that's not an alien, right? Alright, so here we have Form 1. And the boost is a giant maw. Again, which is my take on the gelatinous cube. Honestly, this was a very successful session. Whether or not these designs stay as they are, I was worried like, oh, is this too silly? Is this too cute? Is this too... But at the end of the day, like, I probably do want to have a nice, diverse set of designs, right? Like, I'm going to have very cool monsters, right? I want to adapt my tiger Pokemon that I made, right? I'm going to have a Chimera, an Owlbear, really cool entities. But I should have a balance. Not everything can be cool. If everything is cool, that's kind of a problem, right? So it might be good to include offbeat designs as well, as long as they still fit the vibe of the world. And this does feel like very D&D, like this feels very Mind Flayer meets Gelatinous Cube kind of thing, you know? Oh, interesting. I could do that, hit deselect the everything moves. That's right. This even looks like a mimic, so it still gets like a cool D&D vibe from like a Mind Flayer into a mimic. It's pretty damn awesome. God, drawing hands. I need to practice drawing hands. I mean, that looks pretty good for now. Again, I could just see myself doing reference for this creature. And there's still kind of a sea vibe to it, right? Even though I'm not trying to make it like Pokemon-like, I don't think it's a worst thing in the world to find connections. Where the first guy is like an explorer. He could even be an underwater explorer, right? And then it's a jellyfish, and then it looks kind of like a clam or a treasure chest that you might find under the sea. Right? What an insane design. And I got to make my own slime. Like, that is just so cool. Oh, this might look like Toxapex, potentially. I could do a lot of funky shapes for the second form too. Ooh, it could be like a crown. Hang on, check. Let's see. Probably best if you check up what flat mode. No, it's not too. I'm gonna focus on this for now. I want to live in each design, right? Let's see. In Egyptian mythology, they have the snake-headed leopards that are cool. Serpapard. Humanity made cryptids, not like all those anime made by lizard people. Dang, lizard people. It's nothing bad and cute or scary designs. That's true. I think we need balance, right? I'll have scary ones, cute ones, cool ones. As long as my art style is consistent and what I'm feeding the people feels like it belongs in the world, that's what's important. Pokemon have the edgy ones, the goofy one, and the waifus, and the hated ones like Garbodor and Vanillux, which are object mons. The Grafton monster is probably my favorite cryptid. I like it. Tell me about the Grafton. Gabby with the cat check. I'm just imagining the middle guy just slowly floating on discombobulating you. Could you imagine? Yeah, because not everyone likes the cool and not everyone likes the cute. As long as people aren't forced to pick cool guys to fight with, that's true. Sure, you can expand its silhouette, absolutely. I can assure you no one was thinking Toxapex. I don't think with Toxapex, I mean, not that it's a teeth, but like it's kind of sitting, you know, in a contained space. So maybe that's, I think me as a designer, I'll have like a lot of references built in my mind, you know, but yeah, there should be a symmetrical thing with the hands potentially. Do these kind of read like hands? Obviously I think in my final pass like it'll definitely read as that, but maybe this one could be like cherry slime. And remember, this is the boost form, so I don't mind if it like rapidly transforms into something insane, or like it's still a jello thing. So as long as that is like visible, that's good. But remember, because boost is meant to be like a crazy jump, and making it red feels like really violent and like scary looking. But at the same time, now that I'm looking at it like this, I guess maybe the brain part is going to be... Shoot, so maybe I do have to do... Let's add the purple part there. Oh, maybe I could do the gelatinous cube part though. You are Garbodor, my beloved. Looks like a Kamehameha. Kamehameha bite. For the Grafton monster, just imagine a great lopsided Hulk without its head. I think it's just like Hitmonlee, or like that one. What do you call it? There's that one Looney Tune characters that I think has like a Hitmonlee kind of chest eyes. I'm just messing around with stuff. Give me one sec. Let me figure this out. So it should look, it could be like, definitely do read as them. Good, good, good. Don't shrink the jellyfish for the illusion that it becomes smaller. That the Ginja Ninja said in the redesign video. What reference is that, Toon? Don't shrink the jellyfish or the illusion. Jellyfish looks like it's going to do the I receive X, you receive. Oh, this one. Inside being the same color as the second stage's heads. Yep, one color goes from stage to stage. Red palette makes the cult leader use dark magic, turn itself into a demon. Not what I'm trying to convey, but if you want to believe that, it's fine. I would like to ask, the final one supposed to have 2 right hands. It should be... Oh, I guess technically... Oh. I see what you mean. Good catch. Because I wasn't using reference, I was just picturing my head. The heart monster from Looney Tunes. I know exactly what you're talking about, Bon. I'm pretty sure that character was inspired by the Grafton monster. Okay. Maybe 2 thumbs. Yeah, let's do... That will definitely help, getting the 2 thumbs. Thanks. Thanks, chat. I'm trying to, like, it doesn't feel like gelatin, which is throwing me off. It feels like muscly or like straight up like underneath the epidermis. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, what if the thumbs are the things that connect? And I could just lift this up more. Guys, this is so cool. And this is, again, why I'm really excited for my project. Like, I'm not saying Pokemon couldn't do this, but like, I don't think they could do this, right? To have like as big as jumps as these, people would say stuff like, oh, this evolution doesn't make sense. Like, for example, I bring it up all the time. Remoraid into Octillery is one of my favorite evolutions because it is so different, but there's still an underlying connection, right? So with the Chimera, the fact that it's going to be different creatures is going to be so exciting. And then when you see the final form, you're like, oh, that's why they were different, you know? Let's get rid of that. So... Maybe the gelatin part is like this. And then the brain could live in like the middle. And it's traded its brain power to be like, it is just straight force now. Like, waiting for... it's not like, as of right now in the lore, it's not like they... And it also looks like a pearl in a clam kind of thing. You guys see my vision? And I promise, POTEMPO won't be this crazy usually. I don't think they're gonna be this wacky. And I say wacky in a good way. It's so cool seeing first draft with the mushroom thing going to this. Yeah, exactly. You never know where things go through, right? He has 2 thumbs per hand. Ooh, that could be insanely cool looking. Maybe you have stuff floating inside of it to convey more as jelly. I think that works, right? Like this, where it's like, and maybe that's why it snaps shut. It's just like forcefully like, you know. The Rumble Tactile got ruined because of the censorship, so it's revolver there. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say ruined. They could have still made it, just because it got quote unquote censored. They could have, like, for example, made the colors maybe a little similar between the two, or maybe like they have similar eyes, or like certain, like if they both had spikes or something. There's a way to still connect. But the thing is, you know, Pokemon designs operate in a certain kind of way. People will know early on that POTEMPO have insane potential and like evolve in like really dramatic fashion, but there's still an underlying current, you know. If I ask what the game rating is for POTEMPO, it'll be E for everyone. I think I don't want it to be edgy, so it's teen or something. It'll be like Pokemon, where ideally, you know, kids could get into it, but I would love for adults to enjoy it, you know. Kind of like hands have the brain part in a cage too. Yeah, something like that. Claw clam. The jellyfish swims by clapping weirdly, which is cool. Or does it fly? I think it lies mostly in weight. In the wild, you don't see boost evos often, if at all. Actually, no, you don't ever find boost evos in the wild. That's something that is earned by connections to humanity and whatnot. Literally brawn over brains. Yeah, I dig it. Brains using bronze, exactly. If it's rated T or upwards, will there be a succubus? Damn it, I would love to do a succubus. I'm not gonna lie. And most of these things is something like an ultra beast, but those are all designed to not look like Pokemon, right? Just imagine it barking and hopping around like a chainsaw. Like the 2 thumbs thought, adding thumbs to the other side would complete the complete jaw. This bro ain't a monster tamer. It's a yeah, he's a monster gamer. Yeah, welcome in, Deeves. Welcome in. Yeah, it might be the play to give them a second thumb on both sides. Because I think it still registers as a hand. You know? And again, once I actually take a photo of my hand as a reference, it'll look more, you know. But I gotta say, between yesterday's concept and now this, I'm very, very pleased at the future of what's to come. Let's stop chuckling after imagining this dude just clapping his enemies to death. I picture it's probably one strong chomp, right? Again, like the inspiration is gelatinous cube. I wonder though, just to make it, you know what? The red, again, is really cool. It's really scary. Maybe that's the shiny. I want to see if... I kind of feel like the play is making this one green. Because it's going to really, I think, sell the gelatinous cube concept. You know? And maybe the offbeat version, or whatever I end up calling... Offbeat is, I think, too long. I'd ideally like it to be like something like shiny, where it's just one word. You know what? Let's keep it green with lighter shade. It still looks like teeth and like hands. Red feels a little too violent, right? Hey, I read Monster because Deebs wrote it. But yes, we'll put in the quarters. You could probably make a succubus, just don't mention that what they do in private, but it can still be implied. Yeah, just it doesn't need to be exactly like when I make the Aklut, right? It's not going to be a thing where it jumps off of glaciers and turns into a whale. It's going to be a husky, and then it just unlocks its potential to, and that it's inspired by the Aklut, right? You know what I mean? So I don't really suspect that if I make a succubus monster, it'll be succubus in nature. It could just be like, it's a very passionate creature and absorbs energy, right? I don't have to be like, seriously, this clam slime POTEMPO looks so insane epic. I love it. Awesome. Thank you. What is POTEMPO? Chat, let's tell Sriram Sahishnu what POTEMPO is. You just do a succubus, but instead of the unusual suck, it sucks the joy. Yeah, exactly. Maybe... Oh! I love remix for the shiny name. Somebody check if that's used in any tamer. That's fun, and that's still a music-oriented thing. Great call there, Auroras. Great call. So we have Wolf Orca. Let me see. I like a tuning for bonds. It could also be in sync, although that's a band from before, and so that kind of throws me off. Sync. Wait, does Pokemon have anything called sync forms? Or like, is there anything sync related in Pokemon? If anything, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is synchro. In sync. Sync evolution. Sync-evo. Sync. And then remix forms. It doesn't have to be one-on-one, especially if it's something explicit. Exactly. If there's a succubus, shouldn't there be an incubus? Yeah, it could be just fused together, because they do the same thing. And I don't think I want to do male-female forms. Will the succubus have a panty and stocking reference? I haven't seen panty and stocking, so probably not. In the Roblox Doodle world, since they're all doodles, they're called misprints. That's very cute. Cassette Beast uses remixes. Oh, is their name for evolution? Well, I like that. Well, POTEMPO is a Pokemon-like, similar to Cassette Beast, Yokai Watch, and Digimon. That's true. POTEMPO is a monster tamer that Bonnie's creating. There's a few past streams. Exactly. Yeah, chat. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. You could do a succubus, and I want to see you guys chat. Take in all your new friends and allies. You know who joins. I want to see you guys welcome each other. You know, while if I'm like designing and not looking up, take the reins for me. You know. You could do a succubus that's a lighter version of what they do. Succubus are meant to be alluring. They doesn't. Yeah, exactly. It could be comforting, friendly, POTEMPO. I wouldn't do comforting and friendly. They would, I feel like, live more in the chaos side. But yes, exactly that. It could just be lighter versions, you know? Synchro, technically, I think for Rebirth, that one-off manga they did for a while back. The thing that I want to do for my, instead of boost, is, in reality, I want it to be burst form. But burst is very Digimon-oriented, so if and then Pokemon is sync pairs, absolutely, yeah. That's true, there is Discord. You guys can join Discord in the link below. What the dog doing? Yeah, that's a funny thing that happens, Draco. Where after they called it Pokemon Masters, they added EX in its name. So everyone, when they put the tag, it reads Pokemon Master Sex. Pokemon did it, not me. All right, so that was kind of crazy that happened. Guys, it's 9 o'clock. We've been live for 2 hours. I am guys, if I can finish like 3 lines a week, it's not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So you can see how the colors kind of move here, and then when it boost evolves. Again, if there's a better word than boost, I want it to be a simple word. Boost, mega, burst. I don't mind that the mega, like, takes such a drastic jump. That's how it should be. Yeah, Pokemon Master Sex debacle was crazy. Mina Succubus in its essence are dream eaters who show people dreams of pleasure. Oh, yeah, it gets twisted. That's true. Not to discredit due to terrible people. No worries. That are into kids. I don't know what Discords you've been going into. I'm sorry if that's ever happened to you, but that's not something that happens at our place. Our place is a safe space. I like POTEMPO. Thank you, Gabsters. And Zach loves, I love Pokemon Masters, and he made sure to put the capital E, so he likes Masters EX. Okay, gang, let's start slowly wrapping things up. Tempo is my vote. Tempo forms. But see, tempo could describe the nature of evolution in that each evolution is a tempo like shift. But it doesn't describe the final, like, the word needs to explode. It's, look at this jump. This is technically its final form, right? But the idea is that it supersedes everything of its core to become something so drastically different, just like a wolf becoming an orca whale. Hello, Alex. Welcome in. It's okay. It's okay. Phrasing, Alex. So, yeah, gang, what do we... If you guys get any ideas, let me know. It needs to feel like a powerful world. That means tempish. No, that just sounds like you got a temper. Excel. It does excel. Temp up. I want to keep it 1. Track change, too long. Encore. Ooh. I could see myself using encore actually instead of remix for the color change. I do like encore. It comes back. Thing is, with encore, that word means you're coming back to do the same set because people loved it, right? So if there's another word, I like encore for potentially remix, but it is very good. Finale. Finale is kind of in the vein too. Instead of saying ascension, amped evolution, amp evolution. Amp is a good one. Finale is fun. Encore is great. These are all really great. Reprise. So does it evolve from level up or needs an item? I would make it so that once you max your friendship, I don't want it to be like you're walking behind a waterfall and then you find a mega stone, right? That was always corny to me. I want it that, like, it'll probably be something like spirits and fires referenced quite a lot in Monsters. God damn it, in POTEMPO. So, ooh, cover. And to be fair, cover is something that's covering something. So cover is really great too. Remix is probably my favorite. But the fact that remix is in something as big as cassettes, like, not that cassette piece is huge, but it's very well received, so remix is in the mind of a lot of tamers. Alt cover. Alt also kind of works, but reprise does. What does reprise mean? There's amp from toxicity. Yeah, that's fine, but like, it's still music. It's amped up, right? Let's see. Quarter? What does that mean exactly? I love reprises in Disney where the villain song is a new one of the heroes. Reprise. To me, I only know that as like to reprise a role. Also, again, I want to keep it one thing, like boost or shiny. Reprise is reprise. I want that simplicity, right? Because we're already, you know, if I'm creating something brand new, the entry point and keeping people needs to be consistently simple, you know? Fable forms. I did mention Fable quite a long time ago, and I might still, instead of calling things like, say, pseudo-legendaries, I'll call them fabled POTEMPOs. Juiced? Juiced, I think, sounds silly. But it's closer to what I'm talking about for the boost form, where it's a boosted form. Burst, explode, you know, like, it's so much energy. Like, unleashed is another perfect word. I do love unleashed. Burst is my dream word, but Digimon very clearly kind of owns it in their space. Symphony crescendo is too long, unfortunately. Both beautiful words. Surprise in that context is the same beat and song but different lyrics or context. Got you. That is cute. Filter for shiny? Filter is reference to what exactly? I'm gonna see if I can come up with cute names in the meantime. Not jelly, gel, clam, and crush, finger. What's your favorite Digimon? Rec, what's my favorite Digimon? Reprises happen a lot in musicals. It's like a musical motif where a song will reappear, perhaps a different key. Key form is cool, but like, because someone said offbeat and I like it, but once again, it's just one too many syllables. Like a filter on a photo, which can change color. The thing is, I want to, if possible, with tempo in the name, keep a musical theme. Forte, the Italian word for strong. Forte form, but that's forte. Max might be too simple. Beelstarmon, yeah, that's who I like. Lady Beelstar. In reality, maybe one of my favorites is probably Omnimon, Terriermon. Oh, Desperadomon is sick. Mastered form? It is mastered, but it's mastered. So I want to keep one syllable. And something that's Tentamon? Tentamon's cute. Tentamon! Vinyl form! Like a retro kind of thing. Vinyl is something you wrap something around, right? So it's altering the color. I'm gonna look it up because I'll just chill with you guys. Tomorrow, like I said, is my birthday, so I'm not streaming. I'm going to be busy, and either way, I don't stream Friday nights anyway, but you know, I'll be thinking of you guys. Shine Greymon and Rust Tyrannomon, hell yeah. An example how Reprise is different from the original, like a different key. Opus form, like a Magnum Opus. Opus. I like it, but it doesn't have the punch that I need in the word, right? Hello, KK. I'm at my friend's house. Nice, enjoy. All right, chat, fill up KK while I'm looking up words and stuff. I want to see how much of this trend. No, you know what, KK? Tell me what you think this is all looking like, and then chat will agree or disagree and fill you in. Sriram is asking, what is the tiny blob thing? So in POTEMPO, I'll at least say this. In POTEMPO, the first forms will always be super simple. I might make them fiery willow wispy kind of spirits. I haven't decided yet. So the first form, there's always going to be a first form that's like its spirit kind of form. I don't think every creature will have a boost form, but I'm not against it. But look, not every Pokemon has 3 forms. Some have 2, right? If it gets the message across, it only needs 2. It might be unnecessary for me to do a baby form, but it kind of proactively lets me bump up my dex, but it gives all the creatures a similar starting point, which I really like. You know, that they all start from the same place, but have like a lot of potential. Blitz form. I like Blitz a lot. I do like Blitz. I think I thought of Blitz a while ago as well. Blitz, and it kind of reads nice. Blitz evolution. Blitz evolution. Because a blitz in football is when you go through, break a line. And it's like they're blitzing through not that like they themselves are their own adversaries. I like Blitz. That don't look like jellyfish mixed with slimes. Not bad. Tyrant, pitch. Your party is the ensemble. I'll probably just keep, again, like, there's certain words that I'm keeping just to keep things simple, right? As far as RPGs, party is party. Evolution will be evolution. Powerhouse evolution sound too rough. It's too long. Powerhouse, you know, it's 2 words. Well, powerhouse. So 3 syllables, 2 words. Blitz is, you just say quick, right? Mega. I mean, mega but still Mega comes quick. Blitz as well, Blitz. Maybe combine words? No, I'll basically look. I'll say this also with the name. POTEMPO came after quite some time, right, of exploration. So when something hits me, that's when you know I feel inspired or that feels right. So if we try to force it, then nothing's gonna have it. And the zine words have the pop, absolutely. Power? Did you just say Power World? No, look, in your words you said power. Think it's trying to get me canceled, chat. How could this happen to me? I'll pack my stuff, chat. I like the word blitz. It's not, nothing is promised, nothing is guaranteed, but I do like it. That's what I'll say. So the good thing is we will continue to just keep developing concepts, and at some point, we'll pretty much, you know, I will continue to iterate and build and find my art style, my voice, the calling card of what these are supposed to look like. And yeah, it'll be really awesome. I already see things that I kind of want to do. Like, I can look up over here, right, for this jellyfish, right? I can already look up and imagine different approaches for its crown or its head appendage to protect. Like, it could very well be an umbrella, right? The umbrella jellyfish. Oh shit, actually that looks kind of crazy. You know? And then what I could do is just to add the slime bits, I could just make it look like rain sliding off the top of the umbrella. Dude, that's sick. All right, umbrella jellyfish is the second one, confirmed. Instead of a crown, right? And it looks like water is escaping out of the umbrella, but we know it's hands because it's fingers, and then finally becomes the clam trap. Clam trap. Although I feel like I'll say tramp a lot. Up front, I'm going to think of music analogies just for my own satisfaction. No worries. Sounded like it's related to fire. This has been a good stream. Tempo shaping up nicely. Yeah, I'm trying to look up what our max tempo. Max tempo, most are Italian, and as in Italian, they have a lot of syllables, yes. For some reason, imagine there's a submarine, probably because of the slime. A submarine. That's gonna feel... I mean, look, I can never say never, you know what I mean? Because I just added, like, low-key and... look, granted, the umbrella jellyfish is not based off, you know, an umbrella, but it just looks like it. So maybe I could find a creature that fits like a submarine or something, like some sort of whale or a shark or something, right? Or any kind of creature, but that feels too Pokemon-y. This kind of feels Pokemon-y, but it doesn't. Do you guys agree with me? Tell me if I'm crazy or not. It feels like Pokemon, but I don't think we'd see this in Pokemon. And if that's the case, that I think POTEMPO has, you know, POTEMPO. And then I'm sure... like, there's going to be designs that will feel more like traditional Pokemon. You know, like, I suspect when I work on the Chimera, yeah, it doesn't evolve like a traditional Pokemon, but it'll probably still feel like one. You know? I think the most important thing is, if there's a through line evident in my evolutions, that's the most important thing. So with the Chimera, maybe the animals all share the same color palette. That way you know they're connected. You know, so don't feel too random like, say, Digimon. I agree with you. POTEMPO's huge potential. Let's go. It has a different feel to it, especially since each design looks... yeah, and I think that's what I'm gonna go for with POTEMPO. Where people, you know, when they look at Pokemon evolutions, they'll be like, how does that evolve into that? And I get it. But at the same time, That's Pokemon's brand. It's fine that they do that. And it's fine if they break their own conventions every now and then. I think part of POTEMPO's design philosophy will be, again, combining those Digimon kind of like elements where, you know, you have to evolve each time. And then I still also have to find, I want to make sure that all the boosted or blitzed forms, they feel like either they got a color palette or they have some sort of symbol or a rune, or like Mega Evolution, it happens with like that sphere, right? I want to see how I can picture the transformation. That's another huge thing to figure out. Yeah, technically they're slimes. It's my own take. It's not a traditional slime. A jellyfish is slimy. I somehow thought of hands, and then that became a through line, and then it's two slime hands connected by a single brain that's in the middle, like a pearl for a clam. It's insane. Don't forget to get other people's opinions so we don't become an echo chamber. I'd really hate for the stream to just have its... Yeah, without a doubt. And I think you guys keep me honest for sure. And I would never be as... You guys know me. I do stick to my guns because I do trust myself. But yeah, without a doubt, I would love for you guys to keep me on my toes. Gonna finally give us a fridge with a machine gun. The memes prophesized. The link one reminded me of Umbrella. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning with the slime dripping like water. I could definitely add like a cute face to add the slime feel to it. And that might make it feel like more like a traditional slime, because these are pretty crazy out there kind of entities. And like, there might not be many like this. And this is our second or third design. So I am still trying to figure out the look feel, right? These could change completely. That might be scrapped. Maybe I turn them into Fakeamon for a collaboration video, for all we know. Would it be funny having a POTEMPO with machine gun? No, I would hate that. I would never do that. That belongs to Pal World. Digimon can do stuff like that. It just doesn't fit the world I'm trying to create. My world is a lot more mythical. Where'd the brain go in the boost? It's in the middle. It's like a tiny little brain that's trading in brain for brawn. And those are the simple eyes that come from here. Smooth brain. It's cool because this part also even looks like teeth, and maybe I can add like an opening here, like where the thing splits, like right here, and it kind of looks like a skull. You guys see that? The skull motif? And then instead of the skull, it just becomes... I could even do, you know what? Like, I could do like straight up bones here. You know, just to like... I think that's what it needs. It probably needs... And again, I don't mind adding some crazy elements to boost forms. You know, I don't... People, they can ask like, oh, where do the bones come? And it's like, who cares? It's broken its potential. It's borrowing powers from the god of... And then it really does feel now more like something is encased in gelatin or slime. You know? You know what? I think this really helps save the design, I think. Now it does feel more like slime. Because now we have the skull and then the bones of the teeth in a way. My brain is completely smooth. It's a perfect sphere with no wrinkles. Oh god, I wonder what my brain looks like underneath. So this game, fantasy or urban? Oh, it's hella fantasy. Very, very fantasy. Kind of gives me vibes from those two spirits from Legend of Korra. I can see that. At least the skull elements have been kept in some way. Imagine an animation of these POTEMPO. Yeah. I gotta figure out what evolution looks like. I really don't know yet. It'd be fun if they're shifting instead of white light. I don't know how the animators feel about it. Yeah, lighting would be a huge thing for sure for this design, right? How the gelatin aspects of the slime gets treated, right? But yeah, another thing just to kind of like keep expectation, since I'll be drawing a lot more, I might be doing only 3 streams a week. If I'm doing 2-3 hours per session, sometimes I might go longer. I'm already doing a lot of artwork outside of this stuff. And if I get this new art job, that's even more arting that I'm going to be doing. And that will certainly affect how I do streams, right? So that's just something to kind of keep aware of. So, all right, cool. I think this is honestly a very... I'm glad I sorted that out. Oh, interesting. Maybe I could even have the... I was thinking the umbrella top could be the hands, but no, we already got the hands here. And I just gotta make sure this reads like a hand. Do what you gotta do. Remember, yeah, absolutely. But I am very excited. I think you guys can clearly tell I'm like super all aboard. Like, this is... I now realize Dex Neo was me absolutely... That was my training arc. Knowing I have the creativity, realizing I should not be giving it to a company so it's YouTube videos with 2,000 views, and that over 200 designs would just sit here and never belong to me. The level of creativity I was giving to another franchise. So Dex Neo is me on the training wheels. Now Rock Lee dropping the weights is how I feel. I'm gonna really go through Dex Neo and all the super like huge changes that I made to Mons. I'm gonna see if I can bring them over, because that's just wasted potential, you know? We're calling boost tippity toppity forms. That's what I'm talking about. This guy now has an ooey gooey feel to it. I think so. I think it absolutely, with the bone elements, absolutely feels that way. I might have to do some sort of bone somewhere. Maybe for the hands. Maybe for the first hand. And then maybe for the umbrella, maybe the metal bits of the umbrella could be like bones. Like it's trying to create, you know. So would you make POTEMPO all by yourself to surprise some of us without early access? That's true. I definitely shouldn't design every single one on stream. Or maybe I could. I mean, in an internet era, like nowadays, even when Pokemon comes out, you could probably find every single design online. You know, once the Japanese games come out, right? Which is why a lot of the times there's like global releases. But either way, I will probably, yeah, like I would want you guys to look forward to seeing new designs, and at the very least, like, I definitely need to hold off on showing all my cards, right? Like, I don't think I should show all the legendaries. Maybe I could see myself showing my box legendaries. You know, I think that's something I want to keep as homage to Pokemon. Like, there wouldn't be 2 games, but there'd be like opposing legendaries. I always love duality. Maybe I won't show you who the Trio Master is. Maybe there could be like roaming pseudo legendaries, and those I can keep secret as well, right? Bright white light for evolution, or maybe specific color light, or perhaps they're in shadow. It could be something like fire kind of helps them be reborn. And then like for the boosted forms, that's why against burst is so good, because a burst of flame, you know, erupt. Erupt. No, erupt is too long. Are tippity toppity forms temporary? They're all temporary. Wait, you keep 2 version is trading in it. No. Yeah, I figure you could trade with each other. But that's not super in line with the core values. I don't know, maybe there, I mean, I'm sure if you want to trade, maybe there's some way I could like, it's not like you, look, I feel like there could be trading, but the idea is it's all about bonds, and it's not like you make bonds with every single one. Like if you want to evolve them, then yeah. Rupture, too long. Remember guys, I'm not going to say it anymore. Rupture, two syllables. Trying to get 1. Doped? You're a troll, Alex. So to answer Dingus's question, how many potempos? I could easily see myself do like 150. In my opinion, that's OD. That's like too much. Mind you, Pokemon, even in its first game, had multiple designers. I know in my heart of hearts, and maybe this is me being cocky, but fuck it, we ball. I've already made so many Fakemon and stuff and Pokemon. I know I could easily crush 150 designs. And yeah, a good chunk of them could be my spirit baby forms. That's okay. I'm allowed to have my little cheat moments. But I feel like even 100 is asking for a lot. You know, not that I'm saying you're asking for a lot. Purge. It's not really purging or expelling anything out of its body, though. It's more like discovering potential in itself. And then, you know, like receiving power from their, you know, partners that let them, you know. It's like when you're playing basketball and your coach is like, you got this, I believe in you. And you're like, my coach believes in me. And you're Super Saiyan. Pierce might pierce the heavens. 152 designs just to have 1 more than the first 151? No. That's too troll. 151 would be cute. 150 is homage. I wonder how many Digimon were in the first run. But yeah, even 100 forms is a lot. I'm gonna aim for like maybe to do 50 to 75 on stream, and then design a whole batch by myself. Because I don't normally design things like this with people. How many stats? I haven't really considered it. I'm really like in the design phase. I would probably say that, again, I want to keep it very simple. So it's probably going to be, you know, attack, defense, HP, speed. I could see myself just keeping special, kind of like the original Pokemon. I do like the idea of special attack, special defense, but like it might be more like armor class versus like special defense, you know? And then the trainer will have mana, and you use that resource to summon your spirits onto the field. And every fight you can like decide, do you want to evolve multiple mons to their second form in one turn? Do you want to maybe spend all your mana in the first turn to boost your one creature all the way? You know, stuff like that. I'll have to figure it out. When deciding how many POTEMPO you will have, you will also have to keep in mind page limits from when you have them all in that book. Great point, Alex. And so to be fair, I'll be designing way more and then maybe doing like my pitch Bible to have something like 15 to 30 monsters, right? And even if it doesn't ever become a full game, I'll make a whole book and have all my monsters and make it a pretend strategy guide, and that could be a way for publishers to see like, wow, this guy made all of this, we got to make it a game, right? I'm just a single artist. A game requires entire teams of passionate and talented individuals who can write music, program, code, be game designers, animate, rig models, make models, right? Even these are considered concept art. Somebody will need to do turnarounds for 150 monsters, right? If it's I think sprite based is probably the way to go. It's more realistic. It's more cheaper, right, than doing fully rendered 3D models with walk cycles and animation. Granted, that's why I'm saying like things like when people are like, it could be a mount. I would love for it to be a mount. But as far as a first game, I don't even have a budget to take care of myself comfortably. You know, so hey, it's a half of the third hour. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting me know, Toon. I think that about covers it, I think, for today. I'm so very pleased with these guys. They're definitely creepy little weirdos, and I love them so much. I think, look, I really do want to make this guy green. It could be fun to have callbacks, but again, it feels very Flubber-like. So maybe it could be like a blue slime here. And again, I'm not married to keeping consistent color palettes, but, you know, there's still plenty of things for me to figure out, color palettes being one of them, right? Ooh, orange could be very nice. And we could have the orange come back here. So much to figure out. It's very exciting to live in this space, you know? Oh yeah, how would you catch these creatures? I've talked about it before, and since I'm going to close up shop, you know, we'll leave it for another day, but it could be a mini game, it could be something new, it could be something simple. Ideally, the name of the game obviously is POTEMPO, but I want to live in simplicity, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it type of mentality. And then if I can fix it, how do I streamline it or make it more fun? As long as those things can be fulfilled, then I'll change it. So then you have to consider whether design translates to pixel art. Yet another thing, right? Really fun. Cool. My first stream in a while. Welcome in, Kiss Quispy. I had trouble saying that for a second. Love POTEMPO, especially the new typings, the domains. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Good place to wrap up. I'll see everyone next time. Gang, I appreciate it. Prefer the little guy with orange. Then again, it's my favorite color. The orange is very fun. But yeah, guys, I'm going to head out. I won't be on tomorrow. But guys, stay in touch, you know. Next week, probably do Owlbear and Chimera for sure. I don't know what I'll do first. I kind of want to do Chimera first because there's more potential. But yeah, take care. Thank you for hanging out with me. Make sure you guys leave a like on your way out, okay? And as usual, I haven't seen you guys do it as much yet. But make sure you comment on the VODs. Give me feedback on the VODs. Like if you get, Bonnie, I think the color palette should be like this or that or the other. We'll be seeing you Monday. I'll come back Monday. Thank you for the birthday wishes, gang. Appreciate you. Hand check for sure. Sayonara. Thanks again for birthday wishes. Take care and be well. See you Monday.